bakit ka nag-exist, no? So, sa individual. And the next one is behaviorism. Behaviorism is the problem that is ano yan? Ivan, ma'am.
Ivan.
Ivan of the Russian physiologist, and Edward Thorndike, American physiologist, psychologist, and John B. Watson, American psychologist, and also B.F. Skinner, American psychologist.
Lahat yung discuss ni Arlene is very important to your board exam. Yan ang lahat na lumalabas actually doon. After pa yung mga child and adolescents, after pa yun, that is just few. Pero mas marami dito. Look at the names, and that's it. Yan na yun. Sige.
So according to them, behaviorist schools are concerned with the modification and shaping of student behavior by providing for a favorable environment. So mostly of this, the behaviorism is parang sa infant pa lang. So parang nursery, parang nag-start na yung behaviorism teaching. Because they parang minumold na nila kung ano yung bata. And behaviorist teachers teach students to respond favorably to various stimuli in the environment. Behaviorist teachers out to arrange environmental conditions so that students can make responses to stimuli.
Parang si behaviorism, parang like yung na-expose mo si bata sa labas, halimbawa gano'n. So, tingnan mo ang behavior meron siya dun sa labas at ang behavior meron siya sa loob. Meron kasi mga bata na pag inilabas mo yung stimuli nila, nag-boost ba? Naging energetic sila ba?
Kaya pala nagiging pa-excited sila mga sa labas.
So, titignan mo yun. Parang you as a teacher, you're going to observe what is the behavior of a student outside. That is just an example. It can be outside parehas, pero yung isa is more on malapit sa beach, yung isa more on malapit sa park, may mga play area ba? So, titignan kong behavior. Kasi magkakaiba ng behavior yan pag nasa loob at nasa labas.
Next is linguistic philosophy. So, Jürgen Habermas, the German philosopher, and also Hans-Georg Gadamer, German philosopher. So, according to them, to develop in the learning the skills to send message clearly and receive message correctly. So, the word linguistic is very napakalinaw na language, about language siya. And yung linguistic philosophy, yun yung nagde-develop sa kanila kung paano nila ilalabas, kung paano nila i-deliver ng maayos yung mga messages na marireceive nila. And then learners should be taught to communicate clearly, how to send clear, concise messages, and how to receive and correctly understand messages sent. So parang dito tayo pag nag-send tayo ng message, sometimes yung parang nami-misspell tayo. So parang maintindihan nung parang maintindihan nung kausap mo yung sinasabi mo, so dapat clear yung yung message mo para maintindihan nila na maayos. Experiential is the most effective way to teach language and communication. So, halimbawa na sa probinsya ka, iba yung language naman kasi sa probinsya, hindi naman lagi yung Tagalog. So, para maano mo yung, kung ano yung talagang feeling na nagtatagalog. So, pag pupunta ka ng Manila, hindi mo na pwede gamitin yung language mo kasi hindi man nila maiintindihan. So, pag pumupunta kayo ng iba't ibang bansa or iba-ibang lugar, parang experience mo na rin yun eh. So, parang experiential is the most effective way to teach language and communication.
Experiential is the most effective way to teach language. In a sense na you are going to teach the language, but you need to speak it out. Ibig sabihin, you already experience your language. Parang magtuturo ka halimbawa ng Mandarin. So, before mo siya maturo, kailangan mo siya laging laging sinasabi. Kasi pa-practicein mo yun, di ba? So that is experiment. That is experience. So that is before mo ipagawa sa kanya, na-experience mo muna. So that is language and communication. Because you cannot be able to teach, languages if you as a person cannot do it by yourself.
Next is constructivism. So constructivism, the proponent are Jean Piaget, Swiss psychology, and Lee Vygotsky, Soviet psychologist. To develop intrinsically motivated and independent learners, adequately equipped with learning skills for them to construct knowledge and make meaning of them. So parang constructivism, the word construct, so kino-construct ng tao kung ano yung intrinsically motivated and independent learners adequately equipped with learning skills for them to construct knowledge, make meaning of them. So parang sila yung parang iintindihin, sila yung nag-aano na paano mo maano yung meaning nun kung hindi ka knowledgeable. Something like that.
Parang constructivism is construct. You're going to construct something out of something. Let's say, for example, the teacher is going to discuss to you about philosophy of education. Yan, halimbawa, discuss na ano. And then at the end of the class, the teacher is going to ask you to make an essay. What did you understand about this? What is your insights about the following philosophies of education? So in that case, you are constructing your own insights and put it into writing. That is constructivism. Kaya dito sabi, the teachers provide students with data. So the teacher is giving a data. The teacher is saying the experiences na meron siya before. And then out of that, si estudyante ay i-instruct niya, sasabihan niya na you need to construct an hypothesis, or you need to construct your insights and prediction and something else. So, in that case, constructivism yan. Yan ang mga research investigation.
And the foundational principles of morality. So, what is morality?
Moral.
Morality is from the Latin moralitas, manner, character, for behavior. So it refers to the quality of human acts by which we call them right or wrong, good or evil, what society determined to be right and acceptable. Yung morality kasi, di ba, parang sa ano niya yung religious masyado. So, nag-ano yun sa religious. So, difference between morals versus ethics. Di ba na ano na natin yung ethics? So, what is the difference of these two? Ethics versus morals. In most cases, when any one of us does something, we try to act according to what society believes is right. More often, we listen closely to what our own beliefs, but about right or wrong, are telling us, even if they're different from society's views. These two have to do with ethics and morals. So the ethics refers to the rules that social system provides us with, while the morals are our own principles. So parang yung ethics is, parang ako sasabihin ko sa'yo na, si ganito, si ganyan. Pero alam mo sa sarili mo na mali yung sinasabi ko. Tapos alam mo kung ano yung tama, alam mo yung kung ano yung totoo. So that's the difference between morals and ethics. So this is the example of ethics. Ano na kasi ito, kinuha ko sa internet. And they said that I know that I was violating all the canons of journalist ethics. Hindi ko siya maintindihan mo bakit naging example siya dito sa ethics.
Kasi when you say ethics, you are referring to the rules that is in general. Ibig sabihin, sinusunod ng pangkalahatan. pag sinabi bawal lumiban sa pedestrian lane, bawal lumiban. So ngayon, pag sinabi mong moral, it is your own set of principles. Halimbawa, kailangan matulog na ako or kailangan hindi ako nag-short. Di ba? Pero sa pangkahalatan, hindi naman yun yung rule. Kasi anyone can wear shorts. But for you, sinasabi mo yung sarili mo, ay hindi ko pwede mapakita yung aking legs or something. That is your parang moral meaning to yourself. You are giving yourself your own rules and regulations. Kung yung gusto mo para sa sarili mo. But then the ethics is general. Okay? Pag sinabi namin sa short sa school, so that is ethics ngayon. Kung pag nag-short ka sa school, eh of course, unethical behavior yun. Kasi general ang sumusunod doon. Halimbawa, may nakapastil na sa labas ng eskwelahan, bawal mag-short. So, if ever na you did that, na considering na nabasa mo naman yung announcement, so, ibig sabihin, unethical behavior, performing an unethical behavior, because that is the rule for everybody, social system. No? So, ano ba yung dyan? Example, violating all the canons of journalistic ethics, because journalists have their own ethics code. Parang teachers, meron tayong sarili, ang mga professionals, may kanya-kanya niyang code of ethics na tinatawag. Na once yan ay nakakumit ka ng anything sa loob ng code of ethics na yun, pwede kang matanggalan ng lisensya. Example, yung sa TikTok, nagagalang teacher, nagawa ng ganyan, tapos pag may dumaan akong magandang estudyante,
papalingon.
Unethical yun. Bakit? Kasi it's the social system of the teachers that you mustn't supposed to disrespect the student. Kahit pa walang estudyante dumaan, kahit pa walang mukha na ipinalabas doon, the mere fact na sinabi mong estudyante, hindi pa rin yun. Alam niyo yung TikTok ng mga pulis? Sorry this is only for my opinion. I don't know if merong naglabas ng rule about that. Yung sumasayaw sila na hindi maganda ang sayaw, yung parang body language, but then sila, naka-school uniform. So you are disrespecting the school uniform. Pwede siguro magsayaw kung mga number, pero pagka ganun TikTok, tapos ganun pa yung language, body language mo, parang mag-off ka muna, magtanggal ka siguro ng uniforme. Parang ganun. Social, siya. Social.
So that's the sample ethics. And the morals is strict term morals also were more widely accepted in those days. So, kasi ngayon paano na ng morals kasi di ba parang sa'yo na lang yun yung morals na na hindi na parang kaya tulad ng sa kasal. Hindi na kailangan na ganyan ka.
Katulad nun, halimbawa, sinet mo na parang yung live-in na hindi pa kasal or premarital sex. So, depende kasi kung ano yung sinet mo sa sarili mo. Parang ganun. So, depende na yun kung anong set mo.
Meaning of foundational moral principles. What is meant by foundational moral principles? The word principle comes from the Latin word princeps, which means a beginning or a source. A principle is that on which something is based, founded, originated, initiated. A foundational moral principle is the universal norm upon which all other principles on the rightness or wrongness of an action are based. It is the source of morality. And under the foundation moral principle is contained in the natural law. What is natural law? It is the law written in the hearts of men. It says, do good and avoid evil. And then, according to Romans, paano basahin yung ganyan? Romans 4,
Book of Romans, chapter 2,
verse 15. For this, it is man's share in the eternal law of God. St. Thomas defines it as the light of natural reason, whereby we discern what is good and what is evil, in an imprint on us of the divine life. It is the law that says, do good and avoid evil. So this is the foundational moral principles. And according to Toniso 1964, writing customs and monuments of past and present generation point out his conclusion that all peoples on earth, no matter how savage and illiterate, have recognized a supreme law of divine origin, commanding both. Parang may ano po.
Commendating
Good
good
and
forbidden evil.
forbidding evil. So, and according to Mencius, a Chinese philosopher, all men have a mind which cannot bear. See that suffering of others if now men suddenly see a child about to fall into the well, the will without exemption.
Maybe ganyan. The will without
Shall experience a feeling of alarm and distress. So it means parang, ang lalalim kasi ng mga ano,
Amen. Amen have a mind which cannot bear others. If now men suddenly see a child about to fall into a well,
Without exception, experience a feeling alarm and distress.
Ano yan, parang sinasabi niya na yung mind natin is hindi natin kinakaya na makita na yung iba is parang may suffering. Di ba, pag katulad niyang example na yan, no? If tayo, halimbawa, nakita yung bata na malalaglag na sa balon, na malalim, parang tayo na-stress tayo, nadidistress tayo, naaalam tayo. Yan yung sinasabi niya, yung first sentence niya, all men have a mind which cannot bear others. Lahat daw tayo, parang may konsensya ba? Yun yung sinasabi niya dyan. Parang matik na kasi sa atin yan. Pag may mababangga, or ano,
Naawa
nakakaawa
ka.
naman. Mga ganon.
and then this is also according to Confucius, do not do others what you do not like others to do to you. So alam naman natin kung ano ibig sabihin na parang kung ano ang gawin sa iba, ayaw mo gawin sa iba. So act in a such way that your maxim can be the maxim for all. So according to Immanuel Kant, sa philosopher,
What is Maxim? Ano ba Maxim? Patayin na ang Maxim meaning. A short, pithy statement expressing a general truth or rule of conduct. Rule of conduct. Act in such a way that your maxim can...
so parang
Gagawin mo daw yung rule of conduct mo, na yung rule of conduct mo nakabase rin sa maraming tao. Huwag kang gagawa ng sarili mong rule, parang ganyan.
to do to others what you like others do to you. So parang katulad lang yan doon sa sinabi ko. Ito kasi sa golden rule of Christianity. So we proceed here, teacher as a person of good moral character. So syempre dapat yung teacher natin good moral. So kasi kung hindi naman, kung walang good moral yung teacher, paano mo re-respetuhin yung
You need, kayo, future teachers kayo, you need to maintain a very good image. Actually, I'm telling you, hindi kayo pa pwede na nakikita sa labas na kung sino-sino ang kasama, kung anong ginagawa dito, kaliwat kanan, walang problema mag-happy-happy, but limit yourself into something na hindi ka naman umuuwing gumagapang na sa kalsada. O kaya mag-inom, hanggat kaya mong umuwing mag-isa na
Matino.
So, ma'am, yung halimbawa, di ba, napaka-common na ngayon sa generation ngayon, yung mga bisexual na ano. Hindi ba pwede yung gano'n? Halimbawa, isang kang teacher tapos may kalibin kang
Actually, merong case na ganyan na hindi sila pa pwede actually na magsama in a public kasi pagka sinulungan mo yung mga bisexual na yun, ang mga kalaban mo dyan, LGBT group, meron sila sarili nilang karapatan. Huwag niyong tatanggalin yun. Although sa mata natin, ako sa akin kasi ayaw ko ng ganyan. Kasi kaya lang, we are in this
Society.
place or generations na parang the government itself is parang inaalaw na kasi may mga sarili sila. Meron yung gobyerno na governor or mayor, transgender, Isabela Batanes, you search for it, Batanes. So parang ako naman, meron pala, so how can you, but anyway, naman siya, respectful naman yung, everything. I don't know lang, yung personal niya, na touch, dun sa syempre, hindi mo
kasi may mga
maiwasan
country
may
na rin ma'am na ina-allow yung
Oo,
same-sex
pero
marriage.
hindi ako dun. I'm totally, sorry kung meron dito I'm totally disagreeing with that.
So, this is the meaning of that one. Teachers are valid licensed professional who possess dignity and reputations.
Especially yung case lately lang, dalaga siya, na meron siyang kalipin na may asawa. So, parang ewan ko ba kung natanggalan ng lisensya yung na yun. Sa atin
Sa
kasi,
teacher mo yung babae.
if you will become a teacher professional talaga, may lisensya, careful kayo lagi. Kasi may mga batas tayong para sa atin. May code of conduct tayo.
Yung madalas na issue yung nakikipagrelasyon sila sa
Estudyante, bawal din yun. Super bawal yun, no?
Natatanggalan ng lisensya.
Oo naman. Basta may nagreklamo na yung magulang niyan.
Ma'am, how about if yung estudyante niya kasing edad niya lang din, it's still.
Even if that is on the same age, the mere fact na estudyante yan, hindi na yan. Kaya nga di ba ako, hindi ko mapapasok dito yung asawa ko because I am the teacher. So si husband ko, pure online siya. Wala naman kami. Kaya lang, mahirap nga sa amin kasi nga pure online, ang hirap, walang subject person kami dun, pero grabe ang hirap namin.
So parang katulad lang din yan ma'am sa ibang company na you cannot allow your...
Depende sa company. Lagi niyong tatandaan yan. Katulad sa sa Benicia Nata, pwedeng mag-asawahan. Depende kung acceptable sa kanila, magkaiba nga lang department. Parang yung restaurant namin dati na pinapasukan. Parehas kami na employer ng asawa ko. Nag-waitress ako, chef siya, pero magkaiba kami ng branch. Depende sa company.
So, sa technical and professional competence, in practice of their professions, they strictly adhere to observe and practice this set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. So, this is the good moral character that the teacher must have. Must talaga, ma'am, di ba?
Oo.
So,
Sige,
being
basahin
fully
natin.
human, you have realized substantially your potential as a human person.
What do you mean by that?
Being fully human, you have a really substantially.
You know your worth
Yeah.
as a person,
Yes.
Alam mo ang kailangan mo bilang isang tao. Yan yun. Sige.
Know your worth. Being a loving person, you are caring in an unselfish and matured manner with yourself, other people, and God. So parang ito yung pag-aano mo sa estudyante mo. So dapat unselfish.
Remember, ang inyong mga estudyante, anak nyo. Especially kung tuturuan nyo ay mga high school. High school pala kayo, hindi pala kayo elementary. High school kayo eh. So, kung tuturuan nyo mga high school, mga anak nyo na yan, nanay-nanay ang tawag sa inyo yan. So, you need to love them and care for them unselfishly. Ibig sabihin, kung kailangan ng isang estudyante ng tulong, kasi hindi siya hindi niya maintindihan yung lesson mo, you try to extend yourself. Huwag yung, iba kasi ang atake pag kolehiyo. Iba ang atake pagka mga gano'n na mga...
Pero paano kung iiwasan yung mga... Di ba kasi pag ginano mo yung estudyante, parang iisipin naman ibang estudyante, may favoritism
Ay,
ka.
hindi naman. Depende sa approach mo yun. Kung paano mo siya i-approach. Kasi kung kailangan naman in any other way, edi saka. Lagi naman, parang sa mga bata, sa mga anak nyo sa bahay, may 5 kang anak. Oh, yung isa mong anak mahina, syempre, guide mo. Explain mo naman sa iba. Na, si Ate Sai, ha, ganito, kaya si Mami ganito. Yan din ang naging careful ako kasi yung dalawa kong anak na lalaki, nagsiselos doon sa aking gitna, na babae. Kasi para syempre, medyo weak kasi yung aking dalanginding na yun. So, lagi na lang si Ate Sai, lagi ganon, may ganon kami sa bahay.
Kaya
So,
kung hindi
ganun
nyo sa maiiwasan mo.
Oo, pero you try your best to explain. Yun lang siya.
Being a virtuous person, you have acquired good habits and you practice them consistently in your daily life. And
In your daily life, ano daw, good habits and attitudes.
yung parang ano yung
Be positive all the time. Don't attract negativity. Kung negative ang buhay mo, ay siya negative na lahat ng mga sa iyo. Always try to hold your temper. Kahit pagalit na galit ka na, there's no need to push others people.
yung isa pa nga
Basta, yun ang
yung
aking
isang
sa
teacher sa balita yung binato niya ng
ayun pa, isa pa. Hold your temper hanggang maaari. Ako, actually, nagsusuplada ako, pero I limit myself in supladita lang. But then, I'm not trying to brag that person into something na parang dinukdok ko na siya sa ano. Diba, approach mo ko, medyo napata sa boses ko or ano. That's it. Only like that. At the end of the day, okay na tayo. Wala na. Bakit? Kasi baka mamaya mali naman yung tanong mo. Kasi baka mamaya ulit ka naman, ang hirap mong paliwanagan. Yung maganda, syempre napapagod tayo tao. We are human. That's it. You are human. But then, if you try to do a thing na you will think na makakasira sa ibang tao or makakababa ng moralidad niya and everything. So, parang just keep it to yourself na lang. Wala nang perfecto. For sure, ikaw hindi ka rin perfecto. So, yun nga, avoid negativity. Lagi. Hanggat maaari. Wala may tutulong yan sa inyo na ako.
And being a morally matured person, you have reached a level of development emotionally, socially, mentally, spiritually, appropriate to your developmental stage.
So, kailangan mas mature ka
Mature.
sa
Estudyante.
estudyante mo. Mamaya ikaw childish ka pa dyan. Nag-ano kayo, ay, bahala kayo. Hindi kayo matututo. Yung mga ganong akto, don't do that. Okay? Kung gusto mo sawayin, okay, tapos na kayo dyan, o ready na kayo makinig, bigyan mo ng punishment, but not act as a childish. Bibigyan mo sila ng punishment as a parent, or as a teacher, or as a grown, but then not yung parang walk out ka pa to the max.
May
Wala
teacher
ka
ako
na.
nung high school. Kasi ano siya, ma'am, English siya. Tapos parang kung nag-lecture siya, nagsusulat siya. Tapos ako nagsusulat siya, nag-discuss siya. Pero ang inang boses niya. Kasi syempre nag-aanuan kami na parang, bakit ganun yung ano niya. Tapos parang sabi namin, ma'am, can you please louder your voice? Tapos nagalit siya sa amin. Sabi niya, sige kayo na mag-aral, bahala na kayo. Nag-walk out siya, ma'am. Tapos
Baka
binagsak kami lahat.
Grabe naman yan.
Binagsak
Bad
kami.
day siguro si teacher. Lahat naman tayo may bad day. No? Depende na lang kung paano mo siya Oo. Saka depende nga sa environment. Ako, lately, medyo nag-lighter ako eh. Because there is a person na parang I cannot handle to work with anymore. May mga ganong araw na parang gusto mong maging masaya pero dahil sa mga ginagawa ng ibang tao, ang hirap maging masaya. Oo, actually, dumating ako sa point na yon. Na parang everyday na lang. Laging parang hindi ko makontrol na ito na naman, parang suffering ko maghapon ko. Parang gano'n. And then, medyo lighter na ako. Medyo gumaan ang pakiramdam kasi syempre, nagbabago naman lahat. And then, God will see kung ano man yung effort nyo. God will always see. You will have the result actually.
So you are on the path to moral development when you strive to reach your full potential. When you have love and care for yourself and allow yourself to flow to others. When you live in a virtuous life and as you grow older, you also grow in your emotional, social, intellectual, and spiritual life systems. Thank you.
Okay. Sige.
Yay!
Although yung umpisa medyo struggle
Hard,
tayo,
yes.
no? but at least we have a portion na it's interesting. It's interesting. Ano?
Kaya mo pa ba, Arlene?
Ay, ano? Sige naman, para matapos. Oh, sige. Bigyan lang ako.
Ay, yung ano pala, yung homework ba yun? Ang kailangan homework.
Hindi ko pa tapos.
Para pagbalik ko yung
Eto, sabitin natin to ang exercise.
O, mag-exercise muna kayo. Kasali ba ako dyan?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi ano siya ma'am, parang i-determine mo kung anong philosophy ka. Find out to which philosophy you adhere. To what extent does each statement apply to you? Rate yourself 4 if you agree with the statement always. 3 if you agree but not always. And 2 if you agree sometimes. And 1 if you don't agree at all.
Tapos?
Tapos mag-rate mo siya, yung sarili mo. Tapos
May
dito
score.
malalaman natin kung ano tayo.
Sige, gusto ko yan.
Lang ako, wait lang. Sige po.
Na ako yun. Din ako.
Gusto mo module din yan. Parang yun kasi exercise niyo talaga.
Sa module ka.
Oo.
Wala, tapos na.
Kahit wag lang sulat kayo number na lang.
O tapos parang hindi mo siya, hindi mo kung sasagutan niya lahat ha. Parang choose ka lang. Kasi
Ay, isa lang?
Isa lang ba?
parang ilan
There
yan,
is
kung
no
ano yung-
substitute for concrete experience in learning that ano yan, mamimili ka.
Opo, yan.
You have to
mo siya.
choose.
Yan.
Nahihilo ko.
Hindi mo ito mapapalaki. Nakikita niyo ba?
No.
No? Parang labo.
Hindi, malabo.
Ano na lang natin.
Tabasa nga. Wait.
So, dito lang. Basta ano, yung ano sabi dito is, rate yourself 4 if you agree. Always. So, for example dito, parang pipili lang kayo dito yung sasagutan nyo, not all.
To what is extent does it statement apply to you? Apply. Rate yourself 4 if you agree with the statement always.
Teachers must not force their
If you agree but not always 2. If you agree sometimes 1. And if you don't agree, ano yan? If you don't agree, anong number yun? Number 1 ba yun? 1.
Kasi parang ito yung magiging ano yun. Parang interpret your answer, right? Parang ganyan siya. So, wala lang natin kung ano tayong philosophy. Sabi din ako dito.
Pababa mo nga pa. Ayan. Find out of the philosophy and here to what extent does each statement
Wow, congratulations.
apply to rate yourself for if you agree. If the statement always 3, agree.
Sabi naman nila, kahit yung mga assignment na lang, bagong finance may submit lang.
Kaya
Parang kung mga walang nila. Right?
hindi. Nilalamig.
Ako rin yung submit.
The purpose of education should be ideas that relevant to us. Teacher must be first student. School must develop student capacity to reason with stress and humors. In the classroom, students must be encouraged to interact with one another. Students should read and analyze the great books, the creative words. help students expand their knowledge by helping them apply their previous experience.
Madami pa.
Pili ka lang, di ba? Hindi naman lahat.
Opo, hindi naman lahat.
Pili ka lang.
Ilan lang ba ang kailangan?
10 na lang.
It depends to you. Kung ano
Depends.
yung ano mo. Kasi malalaman naman natin yung mamaya eh. Pag inano na natin yung... Asan si Ate Maurice? Ay, si Maurice.
Human
That's
beings
easier.
are shaped by their environment.
Taas ko ulit. Kasi ito yung pinaka mataas, yung always, yung mag-agree ako. Ano mang 4, rate yourself 4 if you agree with the statement always. 3 if you agree but not always.
Human
And
beings
2 if you agree sometimes, and 1 if you don't agree at all.
Mali ang sulat. Tinalaan. 1 kayo lang ganyan.
1 to 25, pero hindi naman lahat yan ang ano-ano yung sasagutan.
Ay, paano makuha yung accurate? Dapat lahat.
Pwede mo lang siya, oh. So if you have 2 answers,
Oo, ano mo na, para hindi natin makita yan. Sige lang.
Where's mine?
Anything stops. Say I love you. Someone million in the house. Ayan ka. Bakit ganyan ang phone ko? Ayaw matanggal yung itim.
Ano nag-a-account na yun?
Ay, mali. Hindi yung iniik. Ganyan. Paano ko tatanggalin? Bakit naman?
Teachers cannot impose me the students. Schools should help individuals accept themselves. Diba?
Malapit na mag-5. Parang wala ka nang time mag-discuss. It's almost 5 na. Malapit na mag-5.
10 minutes pwede na.
Really? Kaya mo ng 10 minutes?
Tapos na kayo dito?
Tapos na, ma'am.
Tapos na?
Yes.
Last na.
22. The classroom is not a place where teachers pour knowledge into empty minds of the students.
It's not a place where
The classroom is not a place.
the learner must be taught how to communicate his ideas and feelings. To understand the message behind the students and information not only to what is
Wala ka ng time mag-discuss. Ha?
An individual is what he chooses to become, not dictated
Konti pa lang.
by his environment.
So, i-ano niyo yung ano niyo, sagot niyo. Ano
Dito,
gagawin?
ikaw.
Ayan, ma'am. If you have 2 answers, 2 4 in numbers.
Ay.
Ano daw?
1, 3,
Ang akin ay ano, isang tray. Isang to, dalawang tray. Paano yan?
If you
are
have to
more
answer,
if you answer 1, 3, 5, 7, you are more of progressivist.
Hindi ko maintindihan. Eh, inansaran ko lahat eh.
Hindi mo choose ka lang dito, ma'am.
Ay,
Kasi
gano'n?
ganyan siya, ma'am. Oh. If you answer 1, 3, 5, 7, you are more of a progressive.
paano
If
pag
2, 4, 6, 8.
4, 2,
Hindi na
1,
yun.
Ganyan siya, oh. If you have 2 scores of 4 in several of the 7
you are
clusters,
more
you have an
materialist.
electric philosophy. Which
4,
means
2,
you put the
and
philosophies together. So if your score are less than 4, this means that you are not very definite in your philosophy. Or if your scores are less than 3 in most of the items, this means your philosophy is quite.
Malabo.
Ma'am, hindi mo kasi dapat sinagutan lahat.
Sinagot ko lahat, agaling nga
Kaya
ako lahat eh.
mag-choose ka lang.
Ay, siya ako pala eh. Simula progressivist. Ang lahat. Okay, anyway, sige.
Saglit lang ako, ma'am.
Sige.
Para
Saglit pero explain ng konti ha. Baka naman mamaya binasa na lang.
para magawa ko yun.
Magbibigay ako ng books na tuwan sa susunod. Pero hindi ko kasi nakakarating. Mami, isa pa lang yung naging homework sa'yo, di ba? Yan pa lang. Start na ba, ma'am?
Sige na. Matatagalan yung dalawang yan. Okay na yan, okay na
Kasi
yan.
na madilim, ma'am. Hindi ko masyadong nakita. Pag nilalamig lang. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I'm Yanya Benes. My report today, this afternoon is about society and the teacher.
module mo ng report niyo na
Okay, send na tayo. Next.
In this report,
Wala ba?
we have so many questions like, is there such a thing as right, unchanging, and universal value? Is the right value for me also right value for you? Are our values right value also for Japanese Americans and Spaniards? And are values dependent on time, place, and culture?
Pababa, pababa. Yan. Sige, pababa pa. Yan. Sige, baba ulit.
The course learning outcomes are accept continuing values of education as an integral part of your personal and professional life. Clarify if you really value teaching. Number 3, explain teaching as a vocation, mission, and profession. Number 4, embrace teaching as a vocation, mission, and profession. Teachers' philosophical and value formation. Education values means the cultivation of affectivity, teaching the students through the exposure to an experience of value and of the valuable from our Aquino. From the introduction, we expect two kinds of answers. It's the idealist and relativities. Idealist is the value of unchanging and kumbaga itong value na to, values will be value forever. Hindi siya okay, ganun. Like the value of love, care, and support to fellow men. And the relativist means the one, hindi sila magkakapareho. Ay, sorry. This one is have no relativist. Relativist is the claim that one and the same belief may be true in one context, the other, or kumbaga magkaiba. It means the value of the Filipino traits is not exactly the same as value of the British or the value of our forefathers before. Yung mga values ng mga sinauna, we cannot say that it's the same as the value at present. And then, the number one, values are taught, not caught. It means, for example, your father is smoking. And then even if yung sinasabi nilang sa mata ng bata, ang
Tama.
sa mata ng bata, ang gawain ng matanda naging tama. Even if it's not proper, for example, smoking, even your father or the one smoking will say, it's not good, but if you can see them smoking, kumbaga, mas,
Isipin mo tama.
yes, the kids will adapt and then realize it's good. And then the living examples of good men and women at home, school and society have far greater influence on our value formation than those well-prepared lectures on values excellently delivered by professionals. It means mas effective sa mga bata ang nakikita nila at sa surroundings nila kaysa sa mga na prepared lectures. Kung baga, the actual happening or actual incident going on, dun mas nakukuha yung mga bata na matuto kaysa sa mga school.
Let's say, for example, you are going to be a model. So how can you say that you are a good employee? Parang, I'm gonna be a very good employee for this month. I'm gonna parang choose to be a good employee for this month. And then, hindi ko absent. Good employee requires no absences, no lates, and everything. Okay? So, kung sinasabi mo yun, na if you wanted to be a candidate for the employee of the month, then you should not be absent for a particular, for a particular cut-off or day. But then, you that is talking about that, araw-araw ka namang absent. So, parang isipin mo, ano yung values na tinuturo mo kung ikaw mismo as a person is hindi mo siya ma-instill sa sarili mo. So, yun yung sinasabi ng the living example. Diba? A very good, kaya nga, diba, lagi in-encourage that the teachers must have a very good parang background or yung daily routines mo, maayos, because of that explanation living example. So, ibig sabihin, mas matter daw ang experiences ng mga bata nung sila ay nasa sa bahay and then sa school, kesa yung sabihin ni teacher na, mga children, don't ask me when I'm talking to someone because that's not a good attitude. Kaya lang, ikaw may kausap naman si teacher ko, teacher may kausap, si principal may kausap, sabat ka naman ng sabat. So, nakikita ni teacher ni bata yun. So, yun yung living example niya.
Number two, values have cognitive, affective, and behavioral dimensions. For example, is be honest and tell the truth. Values have a cognitive dimension and must understand the values that we want to acquire. We need to live by that value. Values are in the affective domain of objectives. in themselves, they have affective dimension. For example, you tell you are honest. You have that value, but you don't know the real meaning of being honest and how you will show, and then how do you
Exercise the
exercise, perform your honesty. Parang ganun daw.
Parang yun is yung word na dimensions. It can be cognitive, it can be affective, or it can be behavioral. Parang it depends on the person, yung kanyang insights about being an honest person, being or having an honesty in yourself. Let's say for example, yung sinasabi ng isang tao na, hey, okay lang yan magsinungaling eh, total ano naman, nakagaan naman sa nakagaan naman sa sitwasyon, di ba? That is what we call white lies. But for other people are not parang welcoming that kind of attitude that may white lies. Basta sinabi mo na kasi sinungalingan, whether napasama yan, napabuti man yan, that is still lie.
line.
So, yun yung sinasabi natin na dimension.
Number 3, value formation includes formation in the cognitive, affective, and behavioral aspects. Grow in knowledge and wisdom in your sensitivity and openness to the variety of value experiences in your life. It means the value you possess depends on the real life experiences. And then depende yan sa the way you react to the way you react or respond to the situation depends on the real life situation that you encounter. Even if it's good or bad. Take active part in value sessions like fellowship, recollection, organized by church. Para in order to improve the values, you need to be if the values are not good, you can attend or be active in fellowship, recollection, and organized by church by this one, attending recollection, Bible study, so that yung bang para ma-refresh yung mind mo na makapag-muni-muni kung ano, what will be the best thing to do to change or improve your bad values to good. And then take the sound advice from Desiderata. Gusto niyo bang pakinggan? Mahaba siya, ma'am. Poem siya.
I don't know. Maybe you can just give us the link sa GC, and
Avoid
just
loud. Yun. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit.
Vexation means cause of trouble to the spirit. Parang bad.
parang avoid troublemakers. Yan, because you are forming your value, you are creating, you are developing, you are shaping your values into the person that can give positivity. So, paano naman mangyayari na magiging positive ka kung ang nasa paligid mo tunay ka, di ba? So, you need to choose your friend and the person that you are being with all the time.
Yes.
It's better to have few, it's just better to have few. Ako, paano yun, hindi ako masyadong friendly. It's better to have few than to have many na, ano naman, ang hirap.
Quality over quantity.
Value formation is a training of the intellectual and will. Your will wills to act on the right values and will to avoid the wrong values presented by your intellect. It means sometimes yung pagkakaintindi ko dyan, ma'am, yung parang yung will mo, iba yung sinasabi ng puso mo sa sinasabi ng utak mo. Tama ba yun?
Ano yun? Tulak
Kasi-
ng bitig, kabig ng dibdib.
Your wills to act on the right values and will to avoid the wrong value presented by your intellect. Sige,
Parang,
paano nga?
yung pagkakaintindi ko, ma'am, kunwari, no, for example, gusto ng, may nakita kang gamit na bag, kunwari, dyan, or what. Yung sa puso mo, gusto mong gusto mong i-report, ikunin yan at i-report sa you want to report to the police station, but your mind will think,
Kailangan ka that time.
hindi naman, your mind will think, baka
Okay lang.
if kunin ko, masangkot ako sa fingerprint, ganun. Pwede, ganun ba?
Because your value has being formed already. May value ka sa sarili mo, ano? So, ang kasunod na doon, yung training ng intellectual and will mo. Na yung sa example mo naman, kung may nalaglag yan na wallet at hindi naman sa'yo, edi don't touch. Yun lang yun. May value ka na for yung value mo. That if the thing is not yours, you're not going to do anything. Or if the thing is yours, you're going to get it and report it to the police, that's okay also. Depende na lang sa setting. Kasi sa Macau, hindi ba, huwag na daw hawakan sa Macau. But when we are in the Philippines, it's better for you to get and report it na missing siya. Let's say, for example, may bata, nawawala. Instead na, i-ignore mo siya, ang gagawin mo is to kausapin and find the mother of ng batang to, because you have the value formation already. Meron ka na. So, yung intellectual capacity mo is parang affected na siya or ano ba yun? Pag nagbe-base na yung decision making mo, intellectual decision making mo dun sa values na meron ka na. Kaya nga value formation is very important.
Saint Thomas Aquinas said, "The intellect proposes and will disposes."
Ano to yun?
The intellect proposes and the will. Parang yun nga, ma'am. Yung intellect.
O parang pagka intellectually, ka na parang gifted ba? Not matalino ha, but then you have the decision that is always right. You have the decisions that you always think of your value. Then yung mga wills mo, hindi isa sa tabi mo na. Ay, ayokong kuhanin kasi hindi naman akin yan. Something lang. Nadidispose mo na yung kagustuhan mo na yun.
Parang kung gusto mong bumili ng isang bagay, parang isipin mo, mas nakakatulong ko yung sa pamilya ko. Parang ma-fulfill ko yung gusto ko.
Oh,
Something
parang
like that.
being unselfish.
From William Kelly, developed 3 functions. Number 1, formation of ideas. 2, judgment. And 3, reasoning. Parang yun na nga yung sinabi natin, ma'am, na about sa intellectual will. Virtuous versus vicious life and their effect on the will. A virtuous life strengthens you to live by the right values and a life of abundance and joy, while a vicious life leads you to perdition and misery. This means a virtuous life is being productive, doing things that will make or improve your personality, your values, be more responsible for good. While the vicious life, the vices, yung mga hindi kailangan mga bisyo that can ruin your personality and then that can destroy the values, the good values that you.
O parang pag dito ka sa virtuous life, if you're with the virtuous life, your life is parang productive every day. Then you have a good work, you have a good life, you have savings a lot and everything. Pag nakakita ka ng something na hindi sa'yo, you're not going to get it. Kasi, ay, wallet lang yun, pera lang laman yan, kikitain ko yan. Because you have something na meron ka, di ba? Ngayon, kung ikaw naman ay nasa vicious life, puro sugal, puro alak, puro so sugal, you need to provide yourself something para maisugal mo. Hindi kahit hindi sa'yo yung wallet na yun, kukunin mo talaga. At
Max Keller's hierarchy of values.
Sorry.
Pleasure values. Pleasure against unpleasant. The agreeable against disagreeable. Sensual feelings, experiences of pleasure or pain. Vital values. Values pertaining to the well-being either of individual or of the community. Health, vitality, values of vital feelings, capability, excellence. Spiritual values are values independent of the full sphere of the body and of the environment. Grasp in spiritual acts of preparing, loving, and hating. Aesthetic, aesthetic values, beauty against ugliness, values of right and wrong, values of pure knowledge. Values of the holy is appear only in regards to objects intentionally given as absolute objects, belief, adoration, and bliss. Max Scheller's hierarchy of values. Highest values are those that directly pertain to the supreme being, while the lowest values are those that pertain to the sensual pleasure. It means yung mga supreme being is supreme being means being of God. Parang yung hierarchy ni Max Scheller's from top to bottom is from good to bad. Yun lang. And then man is an embodied spirit, and so we also need to be concerned with matters of the spirit, like what is right and what is beautiful. Some of the saints who offer their self for the so San Lorenzo Ruiz is the first Filipino saint spread offers of liberty and life for his faith in God. Siya yung first Filipino saint na naging santo.
In ours.
Albert Schweitzer he is much honored physician, missionary, and musician who spent many years extending humanitarian missions. Another is Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta, India, who chose to live comfortable life in the convent para mag-alaga ng mga bata at tumulong sa mga needy. Aside from the church, some there are also some whose lives were focused on matters of the spirit more than the body. Like si Mahatma Gandhi ng India, he is a great political and spiritual leader of India. And then Helen Keller, despite being blind, she managed to help other blind like her para makatulong para ma-improve din ng mga kagaya niyang mga bulag, yung mga
Ability nila. Ability nila.
Some of our national heroes are Dr. Jose Rizal and Benigno Aquino. And
Bakit naging binig? Okay,
value clarification. We can't help but face the value of
Which is confused.
sorry, naman report.
Ano ang nakalagay doon? Ba't siya hero?
He offered his life, ma'am.
In what way? Binaril siya.
Akala ko,
Tapos kung binaril, in-offer ang life. O, di ba pareha silang binaril ng
Alam
Celsan?
ko din yun, ma'am, sa Rizal. Kasi sa isa din namin noon. Hindi lang naman sa Rizal ang,
Binaril.
hindi ang,
Nag-offer.
hindi lang siya ang deserving na maging national hero ng Pilipinas. Pero si Content, isa din yung Hindi siya binaril. Parang mas ano pa siya parang mas mataas yung mga naging nagawa niya kaysa kay Rizal. Ang pinagkaiba nga lang kasi nila, siya namatay siya ng tuberculosis, pero si Rizal kasi
Namatay kasi.
virus.
Oo.
So, siya yung pinili.
We can't help but face the value confusion and value contradictions of our time. The advocates of value clarification assert that we must clarify what we really value. The term value is reserved for those individual beliefs, attitudes, and activities that satisfy the following criteria. Freely chosen. Chosen from among alternatives. Number three, chosen after due reflection. For price and merit, publicly affirmed, incorporated into actual behavior, acted upon repeatedly in one's life. Teaching as your vocation, mission, and profession. One looks back with the appreciation to the brilliant teachers, but with the gratitude to those who touch our human feelings. By Carl Jung. Etymology of the word vocation. Vocation comes from the Latin word vocare, which means a call. If there is a call, there must be a caller and someone who is called. For Christians, the caller of is God Himself. For Muslims, Allah, believers in the Supreme Being, we look at this voiceless call to have a vertical dimensions for non-believers. The call is also experienced in horizontal dimensions. It is like a man calling another, never a superior being calling man. There are parang two kinds of vocation. It's from calling, parang calling from God. It's the voice.
Spiritual vocation.
It's spiritual vocation and yung professional vocation. Teaching as your vocation. Perhaps you never dreamt of being a teacher, but here you are now preparing to become one. How did it happen? From the eyes of those who believe, it was God who called you here for you to teach. Like the biblical figures did not also understand the events surrounding their call, but they said yes. The fact that you are now in the College of Teacher Education signifies that you positively responded to the call to teach. Etymology of the word mission. Mission comes from the Latin word mission, which means to send. You are called to be a teacher and you are sent into the world to accomplish a mission to teach. The Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary defines a mission is a task assigned. You are sent to accomplish a task. It means parang you as the teacher, you are the parang ginamit para i para i para gawing instrumento para makapagturo. Teaching as your mission. Teaching is your mission means a task entrusted you. Nakuan lang. Binalik lang. Oh. Okay na. Pero as the saying goes, once a teacher, forever a student means every day, even if you're a teacher, you're every day is still learning new things that can improve you as a teacher. It is merely to teach the child the fundamental skills or basic arts of reading, writing, arithmetic, and code of conduct. It is up to help the child master the basic skills. It is to deposit fact and other information into the empty minds of students, and is to midwife the birth of ideas into Latin, ideas Latin in the minds of students. Yun yung example ng ikaw na teacher ang humuhubog sa murang isip ng mga bata. You are the one responsible. Hindi naman responsible. You have the task to teach the kids the values. To teach is to do all this and moral. To teach is to influence every child entrusted in your care to become better and happier. to teach is to help the child become human. Like Alfred North